when it comes to rewarding your fur babies for good behavior, or maybe just bribing them to behave,
Yeah.
pet parents often turn to treats. But did you know not all treats are good for your dogs?
Now, some of the products on store shelves could actually break their teeth.
Oh my
I didn't know this until
gosh.
relatively recently, where that's a thing where, if the treat's just not right for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, could snag them.
Yikes.
Joining us live with tips to help protect your pet's dental health is Dr. Kimberly Dauphin, Medical Director for Wellhaven's downtown Vancouver Pet Hospital. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Glad you're here with us. What dog treats are most common for breaking teeth, and what does that mean? I mean, are we talking about a teeth like falling out or a tooth chipping?
Well, the most common treats that break teeth in dogs are bones and antlers.
Mm.
Antlers are just another type of bone that grows on the head. And when the teeth break, they don't fall out. It actually breaks the crown of the tooth and exposes the pulp chamber where the nerve and the blood vessel live. And it can be very painful, lead to infection, and that tooth either needs to be extracted or have a root canal performed on it.
Oh my gosh, that does not sound good at all.
No.
I think for a lot of dog owners, good luck getting in there with a toothbrush or anything. It's hard to keep an eye on your dog's mouth sometimes. So how can you check to make sure that your dog treats are safe?
Well, there is an organization called the Veterinary Oral Health Council, abbreviated VOHC, and that is an independent council of board-certified veterinary dentists that have grouped together, and they evaluate pet products, dog and cat treats and foods and dental supplies. And if the package has this seal of approval on it anywhere, that means that that product is both safe and effective, meaning it does what the company claims on the package, whether that's keep the breath fresh, keep the tartar off, keep the gums healthy, or what have you.
Good to keep a lookout for that.
I'm gonna have to look for that seal. I
Yeah,
didn't even know
I had
that
never
was a
known to
thing.
actually look out for that. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
either. Yeah, good tip there. So if a dog does break a tooth on the treat, what happens next? You talked about that root canal, the possible options. What else is on the table if that tooth does break?
There are only two options, root canal or extract that tooth.
Oh.
Root canal, both of those options have pros and cons. The biggest one being cost, but if it is a big fang or a big chewing tooth on the side, many dog owners do opt to go for root canal to save that tooth so it can still help with chewing. Other people say, especially if it's a less important tooth, will opt to extract it because of the cost savings.
Okay, so let's talk about prevention here, just in general, trying to keep your dog's mouth healthy. I've heard this before, and I don't know if it's true. Is kibble really better for keeping teeth clean than like a soft canned dog food?
Well, I grew up hearing that, and it wasn't until I got to vet school later in life that I realized that's actually not entirely true. In general, it doesn't matter for teeth health and gum health what you feed your dog or cat. However, there are several foods on the market for dogs and cats that have been approved by the VOHC and they've been specially formulated to break into the right size and shape and texture to keep the gums healthy and the teeth clean, and they really do work. So lots of foods on the market say dental care, but unless they have that VOHC seal of approval, they haven't been proven to actually do that.
Interesting. So you really have to, it's like, just like a human, you have to look at not only what they say in the big bold writing, but then you have to look at the nutrition labels and all those facts. You have to take that extra time.
Correct. That's true.
So now, as someone who has tried and failed to brush my dog's teeth, how often should pet parents really be trying to do teeth cleaning at home? How often do they need to check in with their vet on it? How do you make sure everything's good?
Well, the official answer is every day you brush your dog's teeth, but the real life answer is as often as you can. So,
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be an everyday thing for Sam.
I would say, I don't know if I know one person who brushes their dog's teeth every day. It's a tough one.
I have one little old lady who brushes her dog's teeth every day.
Oh my gosh.
What are her secrets?
I know that takes some willpower. I feel like that's when at the dentist they're like, all right, and you have to floss every day, and every time I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that, but I will brush my teeth every day, I promise.
Well, we know that you and your peers are here when we have questions
Yes,
and concerns.
no doubt.
Dr. Kimberly Dauphin from Wellhaven, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope to come back soon.
Yeah, we'd love to
Absolutely.
have you. And of course, if your pet does have some dental problems or a dental emergency, if you're in need of a checkup, Wellhaven has clinics all over the area. You can check it out at wellhaven.com.